Warning, the following video may contain adult language and themes. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. If you have a problem with this, please stop playing this video now. Okay, I just got done watching a horror movie called... What was it called? I just got done watching it. But it was pretty forgettable, so I'm not being too hard on myself. It's called Carnival of Souls. And it was released in 1998. It's rated R. And I think this film is heavily, it's heavily associated with the horror movie legendary director Wes Craven. Now, I don't believe he directed it. A different guy directed it named Adam Grossman. Grossman. It's exactly how it sounds. Grossman. He directed it. I think Wes Craven probably, produced it or something. Even on the movie poster it says Wes Craven presents Carnival of Souls. It stars, Bobbie Phillips and Shawnee Smith. Also Larry Miller and Paul Johansson. And now the only people... I recognize Shawnee Smith from the Saw series and the Grudge. The Grudge 3 that I saw. Also, I believe she was in the remake of The Blob, which I haven't reviewed that yet. I've already seen that, but I thought that was pretty good. I should probably make a review of that. And I also recognize Larry Miller. I think I recognize him from, what was it? I think 10 Things. He's usually the very straight up dad, the authority figure, the very anal retentive authority figure. Usually, that's what he usually is. I think he was in 10 Things I Hate About You. I think he was the dad in that. That's really the only thing I remember him from. I think he was also in The Nutty Professor or something. Yeah, he was the dad in 10 Things I Hate About You, and I think he might have been in the Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy, and he was in both of those very anal retentive authority figures. But in this, he's actually playing a psychopathic clown. So I think they were trying to go for I don't think he can hold a candle to, though, Tim Curry's performance as It, though. I can't remember what the clown was named in the It miniseries. I think he had a name. I'm going way off topic, but I just want to figure this out. Pennywise. That's his name. Pennywise the clown. Yeah, so... God, I forgot his name already. God damn it, I forgot that guy's name already. The bad guy is basically a clown. Basically, I'm going to give you the synopsis of the movie. Spoiler-free synopsis. Basically, there are these two sisters who, when they were younger, their mom was murdered by a guy who was a clown, who was in a circus, and basically one of the sisters, let me see, Shawnee Smith is one of the sisters, and the other sister is... God damn it, I have to keep going back to Internet Movie Database because I need to find out the information. But, yeah, Shawnee Smith plays one of the sisters, and Bobbie Phillips, who I don't really know from anything else, plays the other sister. And Larry Miller is trying to do his best Pennywise impression, I think. Basically, Bobbie Phillips, Bobbie Phillips and Shawnee Smith are the sisters, and Bobbie Phillips testifies against Larry Miller, and puts him away for 20 years in prison. Then he gets out, and this is what happens. Let me give you my spoiler-free review. I could see the potential here for a good movie, but it almost seems like this had decent production value, decent directors, but the writing was just shit. And it had decent acting too. The people in this were pretty good actors and actresses, but the writing was just shit, and it was just a mess. It didn't know what it wanted to be. It wasn't really scary. There was way too many there was a million dream sequence moments. And it's not surprising that it's Wes Craven, who's most famous for the Nightmare on Elm Street series, which is based entirely on dream sequences. But this was just too much. There was way too many moments where danger was dissipated by, oh, it was all a dream, or oh, it was all an illusion, or oh, she was just daydreaming. They do that a million times, and by the end of this movie you just don't care anymore, because you're oh, I know this is just a dream, this isn't real, she's gonna wake up, or she's gonna snap out of it. I mean, it's just, ugh. So, my spoiler-free review, I'd probably give this, what would I give this? I'd probably give this a 5.7 I don't know. This was just entirely forgettable. Just the writing was a mess. Maybe if they got better writers, this could have been a decent horror movie. But as it stands, it's just not any good. Yes, that's my spoiler-free review. Probably 5.7. Really disappointed in this one. I'd heard it. I guess I'll give this movie credit. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'd heard it was really bad. On Internet Movie Database, I think it right now has a 3.2, which is terrible, even by horror movie standards. But it wasn't as bad as that, probably. So yeah, probably only about a 5.7 from me. Um, yeah, and so I'm gonna go into spoilers now. Basically, she what happened was once Larry Miller, who was the killer clown who killed those two girls' mother, the girls didn't have a father. I don't know where their father was, but he killed those girls' mother. The girl testified, put him away in prison. He gets out 20 years later. He's paroled. He comes back and tries to get his revenge on the girl who put him away 20 years later. And he's like holding her at gunpoint in her car, and they're driving, and she drives over into the water to try to kill him, and they both die in the accident. And this is basically, I guess, the movie like throws us for a loop because at first they show it that she got out of that accident and only the Larry guy died in it, but then and she goes back to her bar and she's just running it with her sister and her assistant, and she starts slowly going crazy because she thinks she sees the Larry guy, stalking her at her bar, and then she finds out that he's been dead. He's been dead, for so many years, and she thinks she's going crazy, and man, this movie was just all over the place, and she eventually gets back in the car. I'm trying to figure out what happened. She gets back in the car, and then she drives off again, and then she dies, and they pull up the car, and she's in there with Larry. So, I mean, I don't know what it's trying to say, that everything after, she got out of the water, and it was all an illusion, like it was a dream. I don't know. This movie's just messy. It's all over the place. Like, I don't know what to make of it. It's, man, I don't know what to make of this movie. It's just confusing as all hell, and I don't know. I don't know what. I think it didn't know what it wanted to do. Yeah, and on a side note, like, I found it just hilarious that these two sisters, their mom, tried to date a clown. Like, really, who would date a clown? Like, I don't know, man. That's just so hilarious. And when the clown's hitting on her, I was looking at their mom, and she's like, she's got almost as much makeup on as the clown does, and it's really funny, but unintentionally funny moment. But yeah, really disappointed in this movie. But I guess, what was I expecting? I knew the bad reputation it had going into it. And then, on a side note, this was actually kind of hard to find, this movie. It's a little rare, but I had a hard time tracking it down, but it's not any good. 5.7. Just entirely forgettable. The writing really killed this one. Wes Craven, I'm disappointed in you. Obviously, you maybe didn't know what you were getting yourself into. Maybe you just put your stamp of approval on it and you didn't even actually watch the movie. But anyway, yep, it's called Carnival of Souls, released in 1998. Stars Shawnee Smith, Bobbie Phillips, and Larry Miller. Oh, another thing is, there's this guy this young guy who comes around the bar and like flirts with Bobbie Phillips' character, and nothing really happens with that. And I thought they were going to pull a twist and I think she eventually has sex with him, but it turns out to be like a dream. There are so many times where the Bobbie Phillips character just snaps out of it, and it turns out, it was all just an illusion. Maybe this is my theory on what the plot was. Basically, yeah, the Larry guy came back to get his revenge, and she drove off into the water, and she died, and everything was just an illusion until they pulled her up out of the water and found out she was dead with Larry. I don't know, but I thought one of the twists was going to be that the hot guy that she was having sex with, which they never really went anywhere with that. I thought it was going to turn out to be a twist where he was actually related to the Larry guy. He was his son, his secret son that they didn't know about. That would have been really freaky, but they didn't actually go there. So anyway, yeah, really disappointed in this one, but hey, what was I expecting? 5.7 out of 10. Take it easy.